What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another Final Fantasy 7 Ever Crisis video. Alright guys, a lot of conversations going on. Yeah, a lot. So I put out a video, obviously, about the impact the new weapons have had on whale accounts and free-to-play accounts. I've had a lot of people chime in with their thoughts, and I'm totally appreciative of it. Obviously, the conversation has been great. I just want to, again, summarize my thoughts behind it. Some people were wondering why I said these are skippable. Well, and why they're whale weapons. So here's a simple summary of why I said that. So if you're free to play, you probably most likely went for the Tifa banner, which I still think is superior for free to play in this regard compared to this banner here. Even though the new weapons do give you guys, everybody across the board, P attack and a fairly decent amount, even at a 1-star weapon, and can be sub weapons. You can still get the buff at half. Obviously, they're great weapons. Again, I said if you have the currency, you should be summoning for these, but just wait for the next banners to see what you want to summon on. So I'm not saying to skip these altogether. I just said if you've already got the Tifa banner like I did, these are for me skippable, because I think that OB6 Tifa, when I get my damn 24 different blueprints that I need, will be more impactful with Tifa's outfit than one of these copies of one of these costumes, right? And weapons. Now, in the long run, of course, this is going to make an impact for whales, and I was saying the reason why this is a whale weapon is because whales will now be competing even more for the top spot in dungeon rankings for those who care to be competitive. Of course, most whales who pay this much are usually competitive in nature. So that's why I meant it's a whale weapon. For those who want to stay on top are going to need to buy this in order to maintain their superiority. Anyways, not what I'm talking about, why I'm talking about in this video. I just want to kind of clear the air on that one. Again, you guys can agree to disagree, that's fine. I'm not here to be right or wrong. I'm just here to give an opinion. Some people want it, some people don't, and either way, you got it. So there it is. I just wanted to make that clarification. Now, I do want to talk about some data mining stuff real quick, okay? So first off, shout out to the data miners. You know who you are. You guys do an amazing job. I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for providing us this information. So I will be giving you guys some information of what's going down with data mining. So they have changed the way they're releasing some of their content, and because of that, now the data miners are going to have a harder time determining some of the data mining information they do ahead of time. So just keep that in mind. There is a little bit of an update though for week 2, 5, 6, and 7, and I want to talk about these because I think they're very important. So week 2, it seems like it's 100% sure it's the combined Ifrit Bahamut summon attack. It looks like that they've kind of figured that part out. I say that reading from what I see here. But they haven't found evidence if it's going to be a new summon skill we can use, or if it's an attack that will be used against us in a battle that's coming up, okay? However, we might see an unreleased Ifrit weapon for Cloud and Red, or a Bahamut weapon, Cloud and question mark, to appear. So we may see one of 3 things. We might see a dual attack that an enemy does to us that we may not have in the game for ourselves. We may see a brand new summon attack that we can do with using the combination of the two units, or 2 summons, sorry. And then also we may see some new weapons come out. So either one of the 3 things will happen, or 2 of the 3 things happen, or maybe all 3 of the things will happen. But nonetheless, I'm very thankful that they found this. At least we have some sort of confirmation of what to expect for week 2, and that's actually coming up really quick. We're talking about what, 3 days from now, 2 days from now? We should have a week already of this fully covered and ready to move on. Okay, so that's week 2. Now week 3 and 4, we have nothing on there. Obviously, as mentioned, it's now harder to predict banners or data mine banners until they're released closer to the date, or maybe the date of. So there's nothing on that. Week 5, most likely CC, not much data to suggest otherwise. I think CC is a chapter release, maybe. I'm not sure what CC stands for exactly here, which obviously is a problem in itself. Hey, look at that. Week 6, that was interesting. Possibly floors 71 to 90. Clearly, those have been data mined a while ago and have been available for quite some time. So we may see an increase to the difficulty level and reward level, of course, of the Cetra Tower, which is a pretty big deal because a lot of people who are whales and some free-to-play have now completed that and are waiting for the new floors to open up. Now, for those who are struggling with the Behemoth at level 70, I totally understand why. You need a very wind-heavy build to actually beat it for DPS, and it is pretty difficult without that. So for those who are struggling with that, you may see some form of reprieve. Hopefully with the release of 71 to 90, they may lower it, or you may find something more powerful to come out in the future to make your life a little more difficult. What a shit pull again. I'm having really bad pulls. I know people are like, Pain, it's a 5-star. I get it, but it's still a shit pull for me. Falcon parts. All right, at least I got that. So that's possibly week 6. So we may expect some more Cetra floors. So prepare yourself for that. You may see some brand new content. I'm always so tempted to pull this every time I see it, just because how badass it looks. So there's that. And then we have week 7. Now, this is the one I'm very interested in. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys a picture here. This is the initial guild menu that they found a long time ago, right here. Okay, I'll show you guys this real quick. There you go. Create a guild, and became a master. You can see here it's 100 gems. Very standard for most gacha games. They always charge you some form of gems. And then you can search for guild and send a request to join a guild. You guys can see here, this is the menu that was the initial menu found a long time ago for creating a guild. So again, shout out to you guys for finding this, data miners. This is incredible. Guilds. So first thing I want to say right away for you guys who are going to ask, because I've already had a lot of people ask me, am I going to run my own guild? I'm going to tell you guys this now. I will not be running my own guild. I already have mods in my Discord, so feel free to join my Discord if you don't have one. It's an incredible community of Ever Crisis players, and we continue to grow, and we're still very, very, very active. Who will be running their own guilds, and I will be part of one of those guilds. Okay, so I'll be part of a guild. I'll probably be a mascot more than anything else. But I do have people in my Discord, specifically Marcus, who does a lot of the runs for crashes, right? He and Corey are going to probably work together in terms of creating some guilds. So we're going to have probably a few running at a time. We may have a master guild, a couple sister guilds. We may have in tandem 2 guilds that are similar power and try to balance those out. So I'll leave that to them to figure out. So don't ask me to join a guild. I will not be creating a guild. I don't have the time to run a guild. I've been a guild master for so many games, and it's always been a nightmare to take care of because sometimes I'm not available to take care of problems. So I want to thank Marcus, obviously, for doing that, and also anybody else who plans to join. Remember, the Discord is available. So that's maybe the week 7 thing. So that's what I predicted a while ago, and it looks like it may come to fruition. Now, that's not 100%. Keep that in mind. There's still the opportunity that the High Wind is a logo for a brand new form of exploration. So that's another thing that the data miners have said as well, too, is that we may see a brand new Chocobo kind of event where you go explore different areas of the world, because you guys can see the Chocobos only have a few expeditions, right? We don't have every expedition available. So there's like a lot of different places that we haven't explored here. For example, there's no Nibelheim, there's no Calm, there's no other places that the giant equator that happens in the original Final Fantasy. So I mean, there's a ton of places, right, that have not been Gungaga. There's so many places, right, that has not been explored here, which the High Wind can actually reach being an aircraft. So we may see a brand new exploration event, which I'm totally okay with as well, by the way. As a matter of fact, I'm not going to lie to you guys. I'm not looking forward to guilds for a couple of reasons. Number one is I think it can, and I said this in a past video when I talked about guilds, is it can ruin the camaraderie this game has with a lot of players, because right now there's no tug of war regarding like what position do I fill in a guild, or how much damage am I doing, am I pulling my weight, blah blah blah. None of that really matters right now. But once you start introducing it, it can create some form of conflict. Now obviously, the flip side can be said, guilds can also create a closer camaraderie with a lot of players. So there's the flip side. So it depends on the community and how people handle it. So I personally like the way things are now. A guild to me isn't the end of the world, unless of course the guild has a guild boss, which it probably will, and that reaps us rewards that we could get as all players, whether it's blue crystals or various ways of getting weapon parts, whatever the case. Blueprints would be incredible, obviously, mithril ore, or whatever the new mithril will be, or ore will be, to level up our weapons to level 100. I think those are great ways to introduce guilds and make them impactful. But also having a new exploration to be able to get those things as well would be pretty damn bomb. I think it would be a lot easier personally. And one thing I do love about Evercrisis, which I hope never changes, is the little amount of time I need to spend to see results. I think this is one of those games where I can spend 5 minutes a day, get what I need to do, especially now with the ×9 summon, stamina use, and I can see results almost instantly and feel happy logging off and knowing like I've accomplished something, right? Most gacha games tend to absorb your time. This one doesn't. So I'm trying to find the least amount of impact of time absorbed as possible, and Evercrisis has done a great job of doing that. So week 7 we may see guilds or we may see an exploration, but nonetheless there's a couple of different things I want to talk about. There you guys have it. Those are the data mines. Again, thank you for the data miners for all the hard work you guys do in putting this information out. Much appreciated. Much love to you guys, and let me know guys what your thoughts are on these developments. All right guys, I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Take care.